Welcome to PrepsNet Coach Speak with Corner Yellow Jackets head football coach Trent Campbell, powered by Campus Traditions. Here's your host, Aubrey Johnson.
Welcome back, Coach.
Thank you.
All right. So you had a very nice win against Winfield last Friday. You beat them 34-20. Tell us about the game.
It was a tight game. We got disrupted with lightning at the end of the first quarter, and so it's almost like we had two half times. Luckily for us, we're at home. We were able to bring equipment inside and watch film of the first quarter and sort of see where we needed to correct some things. And I won't say that it was very beneficial for us because they came out and scored on the first play after after the delay. But we made a lot of mistakes, especially defensively, gave up some big plays, and if we can correct that stuff, I'd feel a whole lot better about how we played. But being able to correct those mistakes after a win instead of a loss is a good feeling, as long as we don't get some sort of false hope that we're a little bit better than what we are. We got a lot to fix.
Right, gotcha. So what did you learn from that game that you can use moving forward?
For a lot of the kids on our team, I looked up midweek last week and realized, due to a couple of injuries, due to a couple of kids being out and banged up in preseason, that we had, we went into that game with 6 kids starting really for the first time on defense.
Wow.
And I believe it was about the same number on offense. And so as much as I think the last time we talked about how much we're bringing back, we had a lot of new kids out there that were getting a taste of Friday night really for the first time.
Man.
And they made some mistakes, but I'm also really proud of the effort that we showed. I feel like we played really hard, not really having a coach effort on the sideline, not seeing too many loafs on the film, just kids really excited to go play. So that was a big bonus. Hopefully we're able to run the ball on people like we did Friday night. I'm really proud of replacing 4 new offensive linemen, and really proud of how they played. Spencer was able to run for 200 yards on about 25 carries or so, and so there's a lot of positives, a lot of bright spots, but we know our season won't last very long if we don't improve, so a lot to grow also.
All right, well, you mentioned the running back. Let's talk about a few more of those bright spots. Who played well on defense for you?
C.J. Brown stands out as having a huge game. He's really our senior leader in the box.
Sure.
He was everywhere, and he played angry, and that's how we want him to play.
Absolutely.
I think anybody that watched the game would tell you that they came away from the game knowing who number 11 was. He was everywhere, playing lights out, directing traffic out there for us defensively in the box, and just really proud of his leadership. He's been doing this for a long time now, and he feels extremely comfortable with what we're doing, and we need that to continue. So really proud of him. Had a senior defensive back, Jacob Bell, that I mentioned last week. Our leader in the back end came up with a couple of really big interceptions, one in the end zone late in the game, and one on the first play of a drive right after a punt. Our offense had fizzled out, and Winfield had the ball at midfield, and Jacob was able to come up with an interception. And so 2 really big plays, and quite honestly, 2 balls that he probably would have dropped last year. And so
he's come along.
He's come along, and he's probably going to laugh about that if he sees it. But everybody knows that he dropped a few last year that he could have been big moments in games. So really proud of him, really happy for him that he made those plays. Just a lot of guys stepped up. Really excited about Wyatt Wise and the offensive line, how they played. But those 2 guys really stood out.
Anybody you want to mention on offense?
On offense, Wyatt Wise, the leader of that offensive line, I feel like he played great. We gave him our Hammer of the Week award, which is to the guy who's blocking his rear end off pretty consistently, trying to finish blocks and imposing himself. And that's an element of him. I think I said it yesterday in practice that I really like the 2025 version of Wyatt Wise. He's growing in confidence, same way as CJ. He's been doing this for a while now, and it's really exciting to see him sort of come out of a shell and have that play with that confidence. And I think it's going to be really good for him. We had a couple of receivers catch some balls and do some stuff with the ball. Deacon Dyer made a couple of good plays in the throw game. Gunnar Wright caught a touchdown, and Tyson Hill made a couple of good plays in the throw game. And so that, weren't as sharp as we want to be in that phase of the offense, but there were flashes there where we can grow and develop there.
You can
and really
build on it.
Yes, and it takes some of the pressure off of the O-line and takes some of the pressure off of Spencer running the football. So
okay, very good. So this Friday you have Dora at Dora. What do you expect to see from the Bulldogs?
We're going to get their best shot, and they're going to get our best shot.
All right.
I love the folks in Dora, and I think deep down they love us too. But this week we're not going to get along, and we're not going to be friends.
Gotcha.
I think it can be a heated rivalry at times.
Right.
Recently, Coach Williams and myself, I feel like we get along really well. And while we're going to give each other our best shot on the field, I have a tremendous amount of respect for him, and he's shown me a tremendous amount of respect. We had some young men in our community pass away in the off season, and they made us their booster club and their coaching staff made our team some dog tags.
Oh, nice.
In memory of those young men that passed away. And so it's stuff like that. Like there's a mutual respect there.
Yeah, some brotherhood there.
Yes, there is some brotherhood there. And so we're going to get their best shot. They're going to get ours. But in the end, our community is ours, hand in hand with one another. We're doing a lot of business in Summerton and Dora, and these kids, some of these kids go to church with each other.
Right.
And so there's a healthy level of respect mixed in with the heated rivalry.
Good deal. So last Friday, Minor played Dora and really pounded them pretty good, 46-0. Do you expect the Bulldogs to come in limping a little bit, or do you think they're going to be looking to avenge that big loss?
There's not going to be a limp. No.
Okay.
They're going to come out playing like they've been coached to play, and they're going to play as hard as they can. If you watch the film of that game, that's not a 46-0 football game, and that sounds crazy, but there's people who watch the film, people who were at the game.
Right.
There's a lot of positives to take from Dora. There were multiple drives in that game where offensively they're having a tremendous amount of success, and then there's a little slip up before they finish the drive. Right. That game could have very easily been 20-14 going into the fourth quarter. Yeah. And when you see 46-0 and you zoom out and that's all you see, it sounds crazy to say that, but I mean, we can point to a couple plays in that game where if it goes Dora's way instead of bouncing Minor's way, it's a one-score game with a quarter to go, and they're playing a pretty solid 6A football team neck and neck. So no, I expect their best. We will not be discounting what the Dora Bulldogs are capable of. I promise you that.
I got you. All right, so in 2 weeks, actually a little less than that, the following Friday, September 5th, you play your first region game. It's already here against Wenonah. How do you best prepare against the Dragons?
It's interesting because the makeup of our first 2 weeks with Winfield and Dora, it's going to be polar opposite to what we're going to see when we play Wenonah. Wenonah is they have become recently a very solid program, but historically Wenonah's been a very good program. I know they had I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but they had a long-time head coach who did a wonderful job with that football program. And when he retired, I think there was a little fluctuation there, a little ripple in them maybe not being as competitive for a couple of years, but I think they've got it back on track. We're going to see a group of athletes that a depth of athletes on their football team that we maybe don't see these first 2 weeks, and they're going to be solid. They're going to be big up front. I know last year I thought their defensive line might have been the best we saw the whole season last year. They had a fantastic defensive front, and they made it really difficult on us offensively, and I expect nothing different. I haven't really seen them yet on film, but I don't expect anything different.
Okay. So Nicholas Howard is their coach. He's in his 5th year there, and you've seen him before. So he steadily has built that program over those 5 years. What do you expect to see as his style of play?
I think they're gonna force you to try to attack their skill guys on the outside, and they're going to allow their skill guys to attack some of our weaknesses defensively. And so he's going to play to his strengths, and we could potentially see them try to spread us out a little bit more than some other teams have, and create some space for their guys to go make plays. I know he drills into them a very tough brand of football. They're not going to lay down. Last year's game was tight. We got up early in the second half, and I can remember vividly in that game last year thinking, hey, we've got this. Right. And no, that was not the case. I thought we had them rolling. I thought we were rolling and had them reeling, and they were able to recoup and actually take the lead back from us. And,
oh boy! And
I don't want to say luck, but we were blessed to make a really big play late in that game, right, that gave us the lead, and we were able to hold on. So it was a tough one, and I think we probably surprised some folks last year with how we were able to compete, but we won't surprise them this year, and I fully expect to get their best shot. He's got a very well-coached football team, and they're going to give us everything they got.
All right. Well, Coach, that's our show. We certainly appreciate your time. We look forward to see what you guys do in the next couple of weeks.
Yes, sir.
And as always, we enjoy and thank you for watching. Join us again in a couple of weeks for another corner edition of Coach Speak.
Spencer, I mean,
nice.
Spencer ran for over 2,000 yards last year. We've got him back for his senior year. He's as fit and ready to go as he's ever been. I think he's excited. I think there's a sense of urgency to perform as well as he possibly can, because he wants to play at the next level.
Sure.
And those opportunities are going to come for him. He's a special athlete.
Okay.
Just natural ability, but that's not what sets him apart. His work ethic and how much he's put into this sport is almost unparalleled. It's incredible to see the type of dedication that a high school kid has had for this. And I can say the same thing about CJ. I can say the same thing about Tyson.
Sure.
Rhett. There's so many. It's a great senior class.
Good deal. So one thing we don't talk often enough is about the staff. So you've got a great head coaching staff, but turnover happens. Turnover, different coaches go different places. How is your staff stacked for this year, and did you have to replace some people?
We didn't have to replace anybody.
That's fantastic.
We got 100% of the staff is back. I've got it's either 12 or 13 men that are helping me coach this football team. And a few of those are volunteers.
Right.
And the amount of production that we get out of guys that are showing up just because they love the game and they love our kids is incredible. And I will forever be indebted to every single one of them. The staff that I have here on campus that also teach at the school, they're the same group that I inherited 2 years ago when I took over.
Right.
We've added one, but he was added last year to help us coach the offensive line, and he's doing a great job, great young kid. But they're such a great group of experienced coaches. It makes my job so easy, and I've been extremely blessed in that sense.
Well, and it's such a rarity to keep that group together for as long as you have.
Well, it's a testament to this community and this school. That school across the road is the best place to work in the state of Alabama. I would argue anybody with it. We walk in and there's problems that other schools are having to deal with that we just don't have to worry about. And for folks that have been here forever, all those small problems, they seem like big deals. But compared to some other places that I've been and some of the issues that they have to deal with in school, and even with the players, our roster, I rarely have to deal with discipline issues. Definitely not in the school.
You gotta love that.
And that makes everything easier. It makes
it
makes it a place that you don't dread coming to every single day. It's an absolute joy to show up and work with these kids.
Good. So your first game is this Friday, 7 o'clock. You're up against Winfield. What do you expect to see from the Pirates?
Winfield's a tough team. It's a tough community. It's a group of kids that are going to play hard.
Right.
Coach McKinney does a great job with him. He's I consider him a really good head coach in the state, and so I know that they're going to be ready, and we know that they're going to hit us in the mouth from the beginning.
Gotcha.
And I think that's what their community expects from them. I think that's what their coaching staff expects from them, and I don't expect anything different. We're going to have to fight.
Right. Good deal. So this last question might be a little unfair, but I know confidence kind of reigns supreme right now, but if you could look out across the season, give us an honest assessment or prediction of where you think you'll be at the end.
So 12 months ago, well, let's go back to there. 12 months ago, if you had asked me that question, I would have said, if we're being completely honest, our goal is to, if we can somehow squeak into the playoffs.
Right.
We had moved up from 4 to 5A, and we were replacing a great senior class with what turned out to be another great senior class.
Right.
And so there were a whole lot of unknowns as to what we were going to get.
Sure.
The biggest question mark was the quarterback position, and Keaton took that over and played about as well as anybody could have hoped. So now, having had the success that we had last year, fast forward in that 12 months from now, I'm going to tell you that the expectation of our football team is to win every single game.
Sure.
And I know that sounds like a cliche answer, but it's encouraging to see where the program was and where it is now, and to see just the mentality and the approach. Like going into this game last year, I did not expect to beat Winfield.
Right.
I was ready to accept, that it was a team that was going to have to grow. The expectation our kids have is to win this football game. The expectation of our staff is to win this football game. And no matter what happens, we'll move into the next week thinking the same exact thing.
That's
and
awesome.
So I'm really big on not going backwards.
Right.
And that's it's a very capitalistic view to have on things, like grow. Eventually, you might not achieve that. But if we don't focus so much on results and we focus on the growth of our individual players, everything tends to take care of itself.
Right.
And so that's sort of the approach that I want to take. That's the approach I take with the kids. So we want to go win the region again.
Good.
Will we? I don't know. Who knows? You never know who's going to get hurt. You never know what other teams are going to show up with. I think we took some people by surprise last year, and that's not going to happen this year.
No.
And so
you kind of have a target on your back now.
Sure. And so I'm interested to see mentally how my kids wear that target.
Right.
Like if they embrace that, because what I would love to see is for them to embrace that target on their back, knowing that we're going to get everybody's best shot, especially everybody in our region. We're going to get their best shot every single week, and that's what we should want. That's what you want.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Good deal. So, Coach, that's our show. First one is in the books. Now, we're going to be doing this week in and week out, about every other week, actually. We've added some teams this year. We're not doing the weekly show that we've done before, but we're doing every other week. And we certainly look forward to seeing what your team does this year. We're excited for the players, and we look forward to it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, and certainly thank you for yours. Join us in a couple of weeks for another version of Coach Speak.